Okay. The morning session we discussed about the production function, and what are the factors of production? What are the factors of production? Is there any doubt related with that? Any doubts are there? Okay. What are the factors of production? Muhammad Irfan, tell me. Muhammad Irfan, are you there? Muhammad Irfan. Muhammad Irfan. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me, what are the factors of production, man?
Yes, sir.
What are the factors of production? Come on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Muhammad Irfan? Hello, are you there? Anjo, CP, tell me, Anjo. Anjo.
Land, labor,
Hmm. Land labor.
land, labor, capital, organizer.
Organizer. And what is fifth factor? Fifth factor. Just check that in your notes there. You wrote or not? What is the fifth factor? Anna Salim, what is the fifth factor?
Technology.
Technology. Okay, repeatedly I am saying same. Okay, what is that? There are five factors are there. Five factors are there. If you don't know what the use of these factors of production, okay, and the remuneration for these factors of production, it is difficult to understand the things what we are going to discuss. Clear? So write down. If you not wrote, so please write down and learn that. Okay, what are they? There are five factors are there. Okay, 4 plus 1. 4 plus 1. What are they? Land, labor, capital, organizer. Land, labor, capital, organizer. Okay, so without these factors, production is not possible. Okay, there is no chance to produce the products without these factors of production. Okay, and the fifth factor is called to be the technology, the method to produce. Clear? Okay, what are they? Land, labor, capital, and organizer. Land, labor, capital, and organizer. And the fifth one, it is technology. Next one, the remuneration for each of these factors of production. Remuneration. Okay, so we know that the remuneration for land is, what is that? Aditya Satyan? What is that? What is the remuneration for land, Aditya?
Rent. Rent.
For land, it is rent. For labor, what is that for labor?
Wages.
Wages or salary. And what about the organizer? Organizer. What is the remuneration? Profit. Okay. So land, labor, capital. The third one, capital. What is the remuneration for capital?
Interest.
Interest. Clear or not? Okay, so the producer or the firm is utilizing all these factors of production to produce the product. Clear? And after the production, the producer or the firm, they want to sell this product in the market to earn revenue. Right or not? Yes or no? Okay, so the difference between the cost of production and the revenue is called as, what is that? Profit. Sometimes loss also, sometimes loss also. Clear or not? So just keep these ideas in your mind. What is that? 4 factors of production. 4 plus 1, not only 4 plus 1 is that's called to be the technology, and the remuneration for each factor of production. And remember one thing, the name of the chapter is, what is the name of the chapter? Production function basically, right or not? Okay, cost of production and cost. Always the firm or the producer want to spend money to organize the factors of production. Organize the factors of production. Just keep that in your mind. Okay. Then, for simplicity, in this chapter, we are using two variables or two factors that directly connected with the production. That's for easy understanding. Easy understanding. Okay. In the previous chapter, also we used one bundle, right? The bundle consists of two products. What are those products, Aparna? What are those products?
The bananas and mangoes.
Bananas and mangoes. Okay, so for the given income or for the particular income, the consumer can make changes in the number of bananas and mangoes. Yes or no? Yes or no? So we used to draw a diagram or a graph that's called to be the indifference curve. What is that? Indifference curve. Okay. So at that particular point of income, there is no changes in the price. Clear or not? Clear or not? So the consumer is able to purchase or he is able to make changes in the number of bananas or mangoes. Is always able to make changes there. Like in this situation, okay, the producer is able to make changes in the combination of land and labor. Land and labor. Clear or not? To produce a particular product, the producer is always able to make changes in the number of workers and the area utilizing for production, I mean land, or even the capital. That is up to the producer and his motive to make profit, make a profit. So just keep this in your mind. What is that? Always a producer will try to reduce the cost of production. Why the producer is ready or trying to reduce the cost of production? Why? What is the reason behind that?
In order to earn more profit.
Definitely. Okay, Aparna told that answer. Okay. They always want to maximize the profit. They have to increase the profit. Okay. So always they will try to reduce the cost of production. Reduce the cost of production. Cost of production. So different producers are using different methods to reduce the cost of production. Reduce the cost of production. So there are a number of functions are there that we are going to discuss directly from the textbook. Okay. Just open your textbook and observe the things there. Now the various functions are there related with the production function. So already we discussed the words, you know that. What is the meaning of the term firm and what is the meaning of the term cost of production, and you learn what is revenue, and you learn what is profit. Okay, now we know that what is the production function. So quantity is always equal to the capital that invested and land used. So the equation is here for us is equal to Q is equal to K multiplied by L. K into L. K is a capital that invested in the production. L is land utilized or labor. Okay, so it will change. So here we can say Q, quantity product or produced, is equal to money that used multiplied by land. So we already took an example there. What is that? An example of a farm. All right. So you can see here, suppose that he used 2 hours of labor per day and 1 hectare of land to produce the maximum of 2 tons of wheat. So he used 2 inputs. What are the 2 inputs? One is, what are the 2 inputs here? One is working hours, right? Per day. Next one, the land underutilization. So we created that equation. Q is equal to K into L. There. So this is a function. Okay, production function here. So just keep that in your mind. So where Q is the amount of wheat that produced and K is the area of land in hectares. So here it is K is the area of land. I already told you that its K is called to be capital or the money invested. But in this sense here, we are discussed about a farmer and he used only 2 inputs. So one is land, other is labor. So K here it is land in hectares and L is the number of hours of work done in a particular day. Is that clear? Or not? Okay, so we know that when K or L increases, definitely what will increase, sir? Increase quantity produced also will increase. If you are making changes in the land that utilizing to produce or increasing the working hours, definitely the quantity produced will increase. Clear or not? So we are able to see a change in the quantity produced when we are making changes in the land that utilized or making changes in the working hours. So that is the connection between the inputs and outputs. Okay, so here describing the production function in this manner, tell the exact relation between inputs and output. So for simplicity, we know that for simple reason, we know that if you are making changes in the input, definitely it will reflect on the output. Just keep that in your mind. For any L and K, there will be only one Q, since by definition, we are taking the maximum output for any level of inputs. Okay, so a production function deals only with the efficient use of inputs. Efficiency implies that it is not possible to get any more output from the same level of inputs. The maximum. Okay, so each and every input has its own maximum production capacity. Clear or not? Understanding or not? That is the maximum. So we already know that related with the consumer behavior, we learned that for a particular amount of money or related with a particular budget, the consumer is able to purchase equal to the budget or less than the budget, right or not? Equal to the budget or less than the budget. So which means that is the maximum. If it is equal to the budget, it is the maximum, nothing more than that. It is the maximum. So in production also, we want to keep that in our mind. What is that? Okay, each and every input, it has its own limit to produce the product, maximum. That is called to be the efficiency of the input to produce the product. Okay, efficiency of the input to produce the products. Clear or not? Yes or no? Then tell me, Anila Mohanan, what are the factors of production?
Land, labor, capital, organization, and technology.
And technology. What are the remuneration for each of these factors of production? Anila.
For land, it's rent. Capital, it's interest. For labor, it's wages.
Continue, Anila. Fine. Okay. So just remember, so these outputs have always a relation with the input, right? So we are making any changes in the input, definitely it will reflect on the output. Okay. The product what we are going to produce. So think all we people are producers. We are investing money to purchase these factors of production, right? We want to purchase the factors of production. Yes or no? Yes or no? If we are a producer, definitely we want to purchase all these factors of production. Okay, we want to pay money for that. We want to pay money in the form of interest to the land. We want to pay money to the laborers in the form of wages. We have to pay money to the capital invested in form of interest. And that is next to two things. One is the remuneration for the, profit or loss for the organizer, and royalty to the technology used in that production function or the production process. Is that clear? Is that clear? This is the base of the chapter. Okay, if you don't know this, it is impossible to move forward. Just to keep this idea in your mind. So these four factors are always help the producer to produce the new product. So it is all these factors of production is directly related with the output. Okay, all these inputs are directly related with the output. Just to keep that in your mind. So this equation, we know that Q is the quantity produced. So each and every producer will try to improve the production by using least amount of inputs. So the quantity that produces always has a relation with K. Here it is the land underutilization. Land underutilization. Okay. L is the labor. L is the labor. So that is the relation between quantity and quantity produced and the inputs. Inputs. Is that clear? Is that idea clear? Okay, so next paragraph, just skip that, coming to the third one, 1, 2, 3, fourth one. Okay, so the inputs that firm uses in production process are called factors of production. Already you people know that. The inputs that we are using to produce the product, a new product. Okay, so all these inputs are termed as, what is that? Factors of production. Factors of production. If it is land, labor, capital, or the technology. Okay, without all these things, it is impossible to produce a new product. We know that, right? Yes or no? Impossible to produce the product, right? Okay, and the same time, all these things are known as the factors of production, right? Factors of production. Okay, so one more thing it is, in order to produce output, a firm may require any number of different inputs. Okay, however, for the time being, here we consider a firm has that produces output using only two factors. Already we know that for simplicity or for understanding easily, we are using only two factors of production here. For easy understanding, there are four factors are there. For easy understanding, here we are using only two factors of production. One is labor, other is capital. One is labor, other is capital. Labor, we know that. Clear or not? Okay, so the human capital, they are the people basically working in a firm to produce the products, there. They are providing the physical skills, okay, or the mental ability to produce any number of products there, okay. So we divided the factors of production into four. We know that: land, labor, capital. Capital, again, we are able to divide that into three forms. What are they? What is the division of capital? Capital. How can we divide that?
Fixed capital,
Fixed capital.
working capital,
Capital.
human capital.
Capital that connected with the labor. Just leave that. Okay. So two factors are there. Two classifications are there. What are they? One is the working capital. Other is a fixed capital. Okay. Fixed capital or physical capital. Okay. So what do you mean by physical capital? Anyone? Physical capital. What do you mean by the term physical capital? Adul, what is physical capital? These ideas are basic ideas. Okay. Tell me, Adul, what is that? Fixed capital.
Sir, which is invested for production. Capital is invested for production.
Capital that is used to invest in production. Okay, fine. So in that, there are two categories are there. Okay, so two types of capitals are there. One is the fixed capital that what we are invested. Next one is the working capital we invested. So what is fixed capital? Just to keep that in your mind, what is that? The machines, tools, machineries, tools, okay, that we are able to use for a long period of time. Such kind of investment is called to be the fixed capital investment. Fixed capital investment. Clear or not? Understand or not? That's a basic idea. Don't forget that. So fixed capital in the sense, the money that what we are invested in the production to purchase machines and tools, we are able to use that for a long period of time. Long period of time there. So is that clear? That idea clear? Next one, working capital. So working capital, a producer, he want to spend that regularly. Okay, invest the money regularly on the products like, or basically you want to spend money to purchase the raw material. Regularly want to purchase raw material to run the production. Yes or no? It is not like machines. Okay, machines once purchased, it can be used for a long period of time, but raw materials are not like that. Clear? Yes or no? Raw materials are not like that. Every day want to purchase raw materials. Every day want to purchase a raw material, right? And wages to the workers. Every week want to settle them, right or not? Or every month want to settle the workers. Yes or no? So regularly the producer want to find money to settle the workers. Settle the workers also. Is that clear? Okay, that is called to be the working capital. Working capital. For example, we went to a hotel. Just imagine we went to a hotel, right? On the desk, we find a jug of water. Okay. Here you are able to find out what is fixed capital and what is the working capital. Okay, jug of water, jug of water. Here, jug is the fixed capital, right? Okay, yes or no? Jug is the fixed capital. The hotelier purchased that and he can use that for a long period of time. Every day he don't want to purchase the jug, right? But water inside the jug, what about that? It's a part of the material, raw material, right or not? It's a part of the raw material. Every day he want to purchase and every day he want to fill that because consumer will use that regularly. Yes or no? Yes or no? So simple understanding, simple understanding. So make it clear what is fixed capital and what is working capital. What is fixed capital and what is working capital. Okay. So here, two factors of production. One is labor and other is capital. Our production function therefore tell us the maximum quantity of output Q. So here Q is the maximum quantity of output. Q is the maximum quantity of output. Okay. So Q is always a function of labor and capital invested. Labor and capital invested. Here L is labor and K is capital. L is labor and K is capital. Okay, is the equation clear? So quantity produced is equal to, or it is a function of labor and capital invested. Labor utilized to produce the product and the capital invested to produce the products. Is that clear? Is that idea clear? No response at all?
Yes, sir.
Okay, everyone. So these equations are important for you people hereafter. Number of applications are there with the equation Q is equal to function of LK, function of L and K. Okay, where L is the labor and K is capital. L is labor and K is capital. Q is the maximum output that can be produced by using that number of labor, that unit of capital, capital. Clear? Okay, so we are able to explain the production function with the help of a table. Table 3.1, production function. So just keep that one thing in your mind. What is that? If capital is 0, okay, here we are using two variables, two inputs we are using. Any one input is 0, what will happen to the production?
Return 0.
Production also 0 only, right or not? So without the factors of production, if any one factor of production is missing, we are unable to produce. Just imagine you are going to start paddy cultivation, right? Okay, so land is there with you, money is there with you, and you are the organizer, but unable to find the labor. Are you able to produce the product? Impossible. All right. So labors are available. Okay, labor is available. Plenty of workers are there. Money also is there. Plenty money is there with you. Okay, and you are the organizer. You are ready to start the production, but unable to find the land. Are you able to start production? Impossible. So any one factor of the production is missing. It is not possible to start the production. So just to keep in your mind, if capital is 0, definitely the production also 0. Okay. So the capital, we can see the numerical example of the production function is given in table 3.1. The left column shows the amount of labor and the top row shows the amount of capital. It is the capital. Already we studied that in statistics. Okay. Tabular presentation, columns and rows. As we move to the right along any row, capital increases. So you are moving rightward, the capital increasing. You are moving downward, the unit of labor increasing. Okay. And as we move down along any column, labor increases. For different values of the two factors, different level of production also is there. So we are using 0 capital and 0 labor. The product is 0. Yes or no? Product is 0. Okay. Clear. So we are using 1 labor and 0 capital. The product is 0 only. 2 labor, 0 capital, 0 only. 3 labor, 0 capital, 0 only. 4 labor, 0 capital, 0 only the product. 5 labor, 0 capital, 0 only the product. 6 labor, 0 capital. Again, the product is, or the quantity produced is 0 only. So if any one factor of production is missing, it is impossible to produce. Likewise, labor is 0. Labor is 0. Capital is 1. Production is 0. Okay, capital 2, labor 0, production 0. Capital 3, labor 0, production 0. Okay, got that? Got that idea? Okay, now we are going to discuss here. Number of other factors are here. You can see we are using labor 1 and capital 1. Labor 1, capital 1, the product is 1. Okay, labor 4, capital 3, product is 40. Okay, labor 5, capital 5, that is 58. Okay, so there's a relation is there between the capital and labor, that what we are using in production, production. Okay, just understand this table properly. Just have a look at this table. Okay, and find out for 50 output, the number of capital is 4 and the number of labor also is 4. Is that correct? Is that correct or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, 4. Okay, so that is a 50. Okay, so there's a question is for us to find out that. Okay, next one important factor, one important topic for you people, that's going to be isocant. So before completing the isocant, we want to complete this area. The table shows the corresponding output levels. For example, with 1 unit of labor and 1 unit of capital, the firm can produce at most 1 unit of output. With 2 units of labor and 2 units of capital, it can produce most 10 units of output. With 3 units of labor and 2 units of capital, it can produce at most 18 units of output, and so on. So in our example, both the inputs are necessary for the production. If any of the inputs become 0, there will be no production. With both inputs positive, output will be positive. So both inputs are positive, definitely we are able to find output also positive. As we increase the amount of any input, output also increase. So we are increasing the input, labor or capital, definitely you are able to find the output also will increase. Output also will increase. Any doubt? Any doubt? Okay. If it is not so, we will move to its isocants. Okay. So it is almost like the indifference curve what we learned in the earlier chapter. Indifference curve what we learned in the earlier chapter. In chapter 2, we have learned about indifference curve. IC. Remembering that? Yes or no? No response. Remembering the indifference curves. Indifference curves. Okay, so you studied about the features of an indifference curve. Okay, if more than 2 indifference curve coming to or plotting on a graph, it is called to be, what do you call for that? More than 2 indifference curve graphs. We are plotting on
Indifference map.
Indifference map. Okay, so in chapter 2 we have learned about indifferent curves. Here we introduced a similar concept known as isocant. What is that? Isocant. It is just an alternative way of representing the production function. Okay, this is just another way. So we already know that we are using only 2 inputs here. Number of inputs are there. For easy understanding, we are only using 2 inputs. One is labor, other is capital. Other is capital. Okay, consider a production function with 2 inputs, labor and capital. And isocant is the set of possible combination. Underline that area. And isocant is the set of all possible combination of 2 inputs that yield the same maximum possible level of output. Okay, so in the indifference curve we learned what is that? Okay, it's a maximum bundles, right or not? Okay, maximum bundle a consumer can choose related with his income. Here it is, and isocant is the set of possible combination of 2 inputs that yield, that provide the same and the maximum possible level of output. Maximum possible level of output. Clear? So each isocant represent a particular level of output and is labeled with the amount of output. Okay, it is Q1, Q2, Q3, Q1, Q2, and Q3. Just have a look at the table or the graph. Let us return to the table 3.1. 3.1. You can see the table here. The table what we discussed earlier. This is the table 3.1. 3.1. Okay, so different combinations are mentioned here. For our easy understanding. Okay, and we are utilizing the same table here to draw this graph. Okay, so let us return to the table 3.1. Notice that the output of 10 units can be produced in 3 ways. Okay, see here, output is 10. Output is 10. All right. How many methods are there? Here you can see one 10 here, another 10 is here, one another 10 is here. Any other 10s are there? Here we can create 10 units by using 1 capital and 4 labor. The same time, 2 labor and 2 capital. Next one, 4 capital and 1 labor. Different combinations. Clear or not? Different combinations are there. Different combinations of capital and labor is able to produce the same output. Okay, there is no change in the output, but the inputs are changing. Changing. So it can be 3-way. What is that? 4L, 1K. That means 4 labor, 1 capital. 2L, 2K. 2 labor, 2 capital. 1L, 4K, which means 1 labor, 4 capital. All these combinations of L and K lie on the same isocant. All we are able to find in the same line. All these combinations we are able to see the same line. Almost like the indifference curve. So, which represent the level of output 10, can you identify the set of inputs that will lie on the isocant Q50? So we are able to find that Q50. Quantity is 50. Here it is 150 is here. Another 50 you are able to find here. The next 50 is here. 3 different combinations are there. Any other combinations are available? Just observe here. 150 is here. Another 50 is here. Next 50 is here. So the case of here it is 1, here it is 2, and it is 3. Okay. The case of 1, 6 labor and 3 capital. 6 labor and 3 capital. Set 2, okay, 50 production, they are used 4 labor and 4 capital. 4 labor and 4 capital. Coming to set 3, 50 is the output. Here used 6 capital and 3 labor. Different combinations, but the output is same. Clear or not, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the diagram here generalize this concept. We place L on the x-axis and K on the y-axis. We have 3 isocant for the 3 output levels, namely Q is equal to Q1. Here it is, Q is equal to Q1. So I am numbering here. It is the first equation. Q is equal to Q2. Here is the second line, and Q is the Q3, the third line. Okay. 2 inputs combination L1 K2 and L2 K1 gives the same level of output Q1. Okay. If we fix capital at K1, okay, what will happen there? The increase in the labor to L3, K1, here it is L3. So this is the point here. Okay. Isocant Q is equal to Q2. When marginal production are positive with a greater amount of the one input, the same level of output can be produced only using lesser amount of the other. Therefore, isocant are negatively sloped. Okay, if one is increasing, if example capital is increasing, definitely we are able to find decreasing labor. Okay, yes or no? One increasing, definitely other will decrease. So all these isocants are negatively sloping, almost like an indifference curve. Negative slope is there. All right, clear or not? Okay, so up to here, want to read properly. Okay, next class I'll ask questions from this area. Just learn and come for the next class properly. Okay, one more thing related with our investigative project. Okay, so I will divide the class and their class into groups, and I will intimate you, and for each group I will give one subject. You have to find out within no time. Expect that okay, so there is no combination of humanities and the commerce, separately it is. Clear or not? Okay, so humanities students, 2 groups for you people, and the commerce students 4 groups for you people. Okay, everyone, thank you, and we'll meet the next class. Read the things properly and learn and understand the things one more time properly by reading the textbook. Okay, guys.